venturing outside of my craft room for today's video so I can show you how all the DIYs I've made this season and in seasons past fit into my home decor for 2024. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a festive beverage, and come on in. Let me show you my holiday home tour for 2024. You're watching Whiskey and Whit. My name is Whitney, and a huge thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video and helping me make some super memorable gifts for the boys this holiday season. Now, if you're new here or you aren't aware, I have a 4-year-old son, and then when this video goes up, I am 36 weeks pregnant with my second son, due in mid-December. So the holidays are going to be busy for us, so I needed to get ahead of this. And also, being 36 weeks pregnant, I've been getting winded. I can't climb on things. I can't lift things. So this year has looked a little different. I love sharing the DIYs, but here is how they come together, how I add lights, how I style, all the things. So I've got tips and tricks as well as the tour, so let's hop right in.
We're going to kick off this tour with the front entryway. So I am not the type of person that changes out my themes every year, but I like to do different sections and different themes and try to get them to meld together. So the front is this really modern wood and gold, some industrial, and I absolutely love this garland. How I got it to hang and kind of cascade is using these command strip straps. They are on Amazon and they are great. You stick them down, let them fully set, and then I use them to strap the garland on. So then that way it's going to lovely cascade over the edge, and you can barely see where the strap is, but then it is hooked in place. I can also use it to hook my lights, and it is super helpful. After I unpack everything, I'm using those empty bins to house all my everyday decor. Then that way I can take that to my basement, and then when Christmas is over, I bring it back up and I can decorate again. A lot of these finds are really inexpensive, and these bow candle holders are actually thrifted. So is this table. It's a Pottery Barn table that I got when we moved in. There's some scratches, but there's no big deal. And I had a second garland to match the top one. Both of these are from Walmart last year, and I also used my favorite Walmart lights to add some warmth to this area. They are LED, battery operated. I strung half on the bottom, half on the top, and just kind of bloop up there, and everything came together so well. You can recognize a lot of DIYs in here, and if you see stuff that you want to know where it's from, I will link as much as I can. If I don't have a link, just leave me a comment. Opposite of that table is this Target table and my record stand. I originally got a record player to play Christmas music because it feels so nostalgic. I really love it. I love this Johnny Mathis one. By the way, I found this at a thrift store for $1. I love it. And this I actually built, so I will link the tutorial if you've got a record player that you need a stand for. I went simple on this table so it would still function, and it kind of mirrors what the other table had. Now here's my transitional area to get from that modern section over to some more color. This bench just has green and red, the traditional Christmas stuff, and then we come upon our Christmas village. This is something we started really getting into when Finn was born. Every year we find a new piece, and I've also been able to thrift a lot of these items, keeping it really inexpensive because Christmas villages can get just out of control, crazy expensive. So we like to buy ours at Menards, and then I use my favorite battery operated lights. You're going to see them all throughout here. You can get them anywhere from $5 to $10. You put the batteries in, they come with a timer. It's great. Mine are from Walmart. I will link them down below. I used a riser to hide all of the plugins, and this house as well as this bakery were both thrifted. I got both of them for under $5 each, and they go perfect with my little Sebastian. This front room is also the home to one of our 2 main trees, and this one we call the train tree because, you guessed it, there is a Lionel train that runs around the outside. This was a gift to Finn from my father-in-law, and I absolutely love having it personally as well because my late grandpa worked for Burlington Northern. So when I see Finn's love of trains, it makes me think of my grandpa, which I absolutely love. And I also love seeing Alex and Finn work to set it up every year. They do new configurations, have such a fun time, and we make so many memories with the train tree. The tree itself is home to a lot of my DIY ornaments. I get a lot of questions on what do I do with those ornaments. Also ones that I've gotten as gifts and things that represent different memories throughout the year. I love putting on all these ornaments because it's like opening a time capsule every year. So many memories. And then I finished it off with some red velvet ribbon with a little bit of white mixed in. Now the red from the trees ties really nicely into my kitchen upper cabinets, and every year I spend a ton of time decorating these. Well, obviously I cannot climb up this year because I'm very pregnant and that would not be safe. So my husband took it upon himself to do this. It was such a nice gesture and I think he did a great job. Now, speaking of trees, this is our second main tree. That first one in the front we got really inexpensively for our old house, and this one we upgraded when we moved in. It's from Costco, and this one is where a lot more of our memory ornaments live. So different subscriber counts, trips together, different movies that we love, so many different things. And we also make sure to hook it to the wall with an eye hook because this is where Finn plays, as evident by all the toys. So we want to make sure that it's fun and also safe. I also love to frame old Christmas cards of ours and put them around the house. It is like a trip down memory lane. I love seeing our family grow. And also in this main room is where I put our nativity because this is where we spend the most time. I was able to get this willow tree nativity on super sale because I got it secondhand, which was awesome. And then I have the angel figurine from something else that I just add. The scroll is from Walmart, and I just add some YouTube free art. I play the video on the TV, and it really just adds to the overall vibe. Now, hands down, my favorite part in this room is the fact that we have 5 snowflake stocking hangers and 5 stockings. I bought the 5 options when we upgraded in our last year at the old house, so that's about 3 years ago, when we were dreaming of expanding our family. And it took a lot longer than we anticipated. There were a couple times where I was wondering, is this actually going to happen for us? Are we just going to be a family of 3? And so this year I am extra grateful heading into the holidays. Now, speaking of kiddos, I was trying to figure out a way that I could add extra Christmas magic this year, especially for my 4-year-old, because his world's about to change. He's going to be the best big brother, but his world is about to change. Now, as I mentioned before, he is obsessed with trains, and every time I have looked for family pajamas or something for him and his new brother to match, he asks, are there trains on it? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Until today. I picked up some matching red PJs, just plain ones from the brand Primary, and I reached for my Cricut, for some self-care because I have been stressed out a lot and there's been a lot going on, but then also because I am able to customize so many things with this machine. You guys know I talk about my Cricut all the time. It is one of the best investments that I have ever made, not only for the fact that it really helps me craft, but also because of all of the mom things I have been able to make, from birthdays and holidays, all the things. I have been able to make such special memories with my son Finn. We literally just broke it out the other night to create a Thanksgiving turkey feather for preschool, and it is just, I love being able to make those types of DIY memories with him. So I went on a hunt, I found some files, and I created a logo for a fictitious cookie company. I named it the Cernak Brothers Cookie Company, and I found these cute little gingerbread that were holding hands. It looks like a big brother and a little brother, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be perfect. Now, I knew Finn, and I knew that if I said, hey, mom made you guys some new Christmas pajamas, he would say, is there a train on it? And when you're doing something like a cookie crew or gingerbread cookies, trains usually don't come to mind. But with my Cricut, I was able to head to Design Space, find some files, and create what looked like train Christmas cookies to go with all these baking items. I also gave both of them their fun Christmas titles. So Finn is going to be the CEO of Santa's Cookies, and little baby brother is going to be the Santa Milk Manager. So everybody's got their badges and their marching orders. They know what they've got to do this Christmas. I personally have such a wonderful relationship with my own brother, and so does Alex. And so I really want to do things like this that foster them as buddies and a unit. Obviously, they will be their own individuals as well. We want that. But I also want Finn to understand that, there's not just another baby and it's separate. It is someone that is joining our family. Now we are going to be the 4 Musketeers, and I just can't wait to see them together. I was so happy with how these turned out. I love the traditional red for Christmas, and those train cookie shapes could not be more perfect for Finn. And I have a feeling baby brother is also going to be a train fanatic because I don't think he'll have much of a choice when it comes to hanging out with his brother. He's at least going to have to play that when it's Finn's turn to choose. Now, obviously, baby brother isn't here yet, but I was able to surprise Finn with the pajamas.
Or two.
Here, you want me to hold one? And you can look at one? It's top and bottom.
Okay.
And then flip it around. The back says Cookie Testing Crew. Do you like cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my PJ.
And if that doesn't make your heart explode, I don't know what will. I'm also a hormonal mom right now, so everything makes my heart really just explode. I am so incredibly grateful for this blessing that's coming into our family, and I am just so happy that I was able to take some time out of my busy schedule to make these fun PJs to help commemorate this first Christmas as a family of 4, and also our love of baking and Christmas cookies. Now, all the details on this project, if you would like to make something similar for your family, will be linked down below. I've got it all saved in Design Space, as well as the supplies that I used so you could recreate it yourself. This mama's heart is so grateful and thankful, and I've got a 4-year-old that is obsessed with his new Christmas PJs with trains. Mom win. Now, while we're on the subject of gingerbread, let's head to my most requested room to see my gingerbread dining room. You guys, I'm so proud of how this turned out, so let me bring you along with the process. So first, let's do my grandma's hutch. This used to have 3 glass doors on it, and we removed those for this specific reason, so that I could have open shelves for Christmas. I'm starting with a Hobby Lobby Real Feel garland at the top, and then I'm also adding additional Hobby Lobby fake popcorn and bead garlands. Then I'm going to add to my clean shelves, because you're never going to want to clean it after you take it all down, so just do it now and it'll be clean for the season. I'm adding different height risers, everything from books to cheap risers I get at the Target dollar spot to scrap wood, whatever works. And then I'm covering it with a table runner that I cut in half. It's the perfect length of this really fun, like gingerbread vibe, red and white gingham print, and I tuck it both behind and kind of underneath those risers. Then we're going to reach for another set of my favorite lights, I told you guys, and we're going to tuck them underneath that first row. Then I'm going to use some tape to get the lights to stay to the wall. I use the clear gift tape, so it's that purple container from Scotch brand tape, and you can't even see it, but what it does is it's making it so the lights don't run away. Then lay out all of your supplies that you're going to want to use to decorate, and start with your big items first. I like to do big items and garlands on top first, because the garlands are way easier to kind of serpentine snake around now versus when you've got a bunch of stuff that could be breakable. Then I like to do the big things because those are going to be the anchors, and then it is time to really get creative. I like to make sure that I have a ton of filler things on hand, and it doesn't have to be things you go out and buy. Maybe it is filler, maybe it's something throughout your house, maybe it's greenery picks you already have, or you could DIY something. These are my Model Magic little DIY faux marshmallows that are always a hit every year, and then I also made some that are little snowmen with paint markers on the faces. If you want to learn how to make those, I will link the tutorial down below. But the different risers really help so you can kind of see all the elements in there instead of just having one line. That's what makes it look really styled. I like to add things like paper straws, and then these are just some cute little candies that I made years ago in a gingerbread DIY video. And then I pick up things like these from Walmart that you can just kind of tuck in the mugs to really fill it out. If you've got a container but not a lot of fill, stick some tissue paper or some old bags in there, and that is going to push the items up without having to fill the entire thing with whatever you're trying to fill it with. And here is the reveal. This is my grandma and grandpa's hutch. Both of them have since passed away, my mom's parents, and I love having pieces of them in my house. Every year I have 2 things that bring me the most joy decorating, and one is this hutch and the second is my Griswold setup. So You guys, these are way up there, up top. I love how this turned out, and I hope this gave you some ideas on how you could make over a cabinet or something else of this nature that you have in your house. So now let's tackle the rest of this room, because this one is where I go Christmas to the max. We aren't in here a whole lot, but this is where I can really decorate. And sometimes I'll just come in here and like edit or answer emails because I just like to be in this room. This is our big dining table that I built last year. I have this all filmed and in a wood video, so I can link it down below if you want to build your own table. It was pretty straightforward, minimal tools, and my brother helped me. It was a great build. But what I'm obsessed with on this table is the gingerbread houses. I made these in my last video for this reason. I wanted to have a Pottery Barn-esque table with bow accents. So I got these bow cups. They're acrylic from Home Goods or TJ Maxx, one of the two. And I'm so mad I only ordered 4. So I don't have enough for my table, but it looks okay. I've got my lit up houses in there. I've got these chargers from Hobby Lobby. And then I made my napkins into bows to go along with the theme. I also added some lights to the Hobby Lobby greenery. There's 2 of them on the table just for how long it is. And then the runner underneath is actually Pioneer Woman from Walmart, and it is the same checked fabric that I used in my hutch. I love that these lights are timer related, so all you have to do is set the timer once and it will run 6 hours on, 18 hours off. And if you want to know how to fold the bows, you're going to just fold your napkin into a strip, fold it into like a cancer support ribbon shape, and then you're going to take one tail and the center through, and it's going to create a bow. You're going to have to mess with it a little bit to get it to be the way that you want, but once you do, these little napkin rings, the wood ones, are from Target, and they are so fun on the table. In the corner, I moved my blanket ladder from the front room because we ran out of space when we put the tree up. I added my mystery box wreath that I repurposed. That wreath was destined to get donated because I had way too many, and I hooked it on with an S-hook. I love this table because it has our snow globes from the year we got married, the year Finn was born, and then this year, the year that we have our second son. When we were in our old house, we had a flock tree in our bedroom as well as our dining room. And since then, we have decided to just put these 2 flocked trees in the dining room. They work really well. I have ribbon that matches to tie in that whole color scheme. And then I've got a ton of DIY options throughout, as well as some hot cocoa and Santa and just overall Christmas vibe ornaments. I was lucky enough to get this Michael's bow garland. That goes perfect with the overall theme, and then my little bunt pan candies that I made in last week's video. I've got some thrifted items here, and then another collection of gingerbread houses across the top. Now, another quick tip, if you have a house like this one that is sitting down way too low, just put it on some scrap wood. These are just 1x2s, and it will rise it up enough that you can see it on the shelf. Love the risers. The different heights will really make a difference. I hope you guys loved this video, got some inspiration, and also just had fun taking a home tour. You'll have to let me know, should I do more of these in the future? Leave me a comment down below.
Also, a huge thank you to Cricut for sponsoring this video and helping me make the most adorable little keepsake Christmas PJs. Christmas this year is just going to be so special. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!